नमस्ते मेरा प्यारा दर्शकहरू। आज मैले यहाँहरूलाई कक्षा 12 को हुँदै गरेको परीक्षाको लागि मध्यनजर गर्दै एनईपीद्वारा प्रकाशित भएको नयाँ मोडल क्वेसन र त्यसको सोलुसन या समाधान लिएर उपस्थित भएको छु। आशा छ यहाँहरू अन्तिमसम्म बसेर यो भिडियो हेरिदिनु हुनेछ र यसबाट भरपुर फाइदा उठाउनुहुनेछ भन्ने कुरामा म एकदमै आशावादी छु। र म यहाँहरूलाई यो बिचमा के पनि अनुरोध गर्न चाहन्छु भने भिडियोलाई सब्सक्राइब, लाइक र कमेन्ट गर्न नछुटाइदिनु होला र सेयर पनि गरिदिनु होला भनेर म यहाँहरूलाई अनुरोध गर्न चाहन्छु। र आउनुहोस् सुरु गरौँ भिडियो। यहाँहरूको अगाडि एनईपी ग्रेड 12 2079 2023 अर्थात् 2079-2023 नयाँ मोडल क्वेसन यहाँहरूको अगाडि छ। मोडल क्वेसन कम्पलसरी इङ्ग्लिस र विषय रहेको छ कम्पलसरी इङ्ग्लिसको र म पढ्न गइरहेको छु। यहाँ खास गरिकन यहाँहरूले क्वेसनहरूको मोडल पनि यहाँबाट बुझ्न सक्नुहुनेछ र पहिलो नम्बरको क्वेसन जहिले पनि 15 पूर्णाङ्कको हुनेछ र जो प्यासेजसँग सम्बन्धित रहनेछ र प्यासेजसँग सम्बन्धित विविध क्वेसनहरू यहाँहरूले हल गर्नुपर्नेछ र क्वेसनको फुल मार्क्स 75 हुनेछ र टाइम 3 आवर्स हुनेछ। Candidates are required to give their answers in their own words as far as practicable. The figures in the margin indicate full marks. म प्यासेज पढ्दैछु, त्यसपछि म प्यासेजमा भएका जो चाहिँ समस्याहरूको समाधान पनि म यहाँहरूलाई राख्नेछु। सबैभन्दा पहिले म प्यासेज पढ्न गइरहेको छु। सरसर्ती म प्यासेज पढ्छु। नम्बर 1. Read the following text about a fitness activity and complete the tasks that follow. You want to be healthy, you need to exercise more, but if you are not ready to grunt through an hour of kickboxing, don't despair. There is a growing argument among exercise researchers that the intense physical activities offered by most health clubs are not the only or even the preferable path to better health. Indeed, the best thing for most of us may be just to walk. Yes, walk at a reasonable vigorous clip, 5 to 6 kilometers per hour for half an hour or so, maybe 5 or 6 times a week. You may not feel the benefits all at once, but the evidence suggests that over the long term, a regular walking routine can do a world of preventive good. Walking, in fact, may be the perfect exercise. For starters, it's one of the safest things you can do with your body. It's much easier on the knees than running and doesn't trigger untoward side effects. Dr. Jonah Manson, Chief of Preventive Medicine at the leading Harvard Women's Hospital, says, if everyone were to walk briskly 30 minutes a day, we could cut the incidence of many chronic diseases by 30 to 40%. She further says regular physical activity is probably as close to a magic bullet as you will come in modern medicine. And for those of us who don't have half hour of chunk of time, the news gets even better. Several recent studies suggest that walking briskly 3 or 4 times a day for 10 minutes at a time may provide many of the same benefits as walking continuously for 30 minutes. Here's how to make the most of your walking routine. First, get into gear. Walker shoes need to have enough room at the front for the feet to spread. Then ease on down that road. Avoid muscle aches by starting slowly and incorporating gentle stretches into both your warm up and cool down. You must plot your course. Some people walk at a specific time each day. Others shoehorn walking into their routines by parking the car a few minutes from the store or taking the stairs instead of lift. Records Record your effort, including how long and how far you walked. Jotting down improvements keep you motivated and challenges you to do better. Since walking affects you in so many ways at once, it's difficult to determine precisely why it's good for you, but much of the evidence gathered so far is compelling. Brisk walking is good for the heart, which makes a lot of sense. The heart is a muscle after all, and anything that makes the blood flow faster through a muscle help keep it in shape. But regular walking also lowers blood pressure, which decreases the stress on the arteries. It can boost the amount of SDL cholesterol, the good one, in our blood. It even seems to make the blood less sticky and therefore less likely to produce unwanted clots. This all adds up to as much as a 50% reduction in the risk of suffering a heart attack. Now questionहरु छ नम्बर A मा complete the following sentences using the words highlighted in the text. Two of those words are not necessary. अब यहाँ हाइलाइट गरेका वर्डहरु छ यहाँहरु देख्न सक्नुहुन्छ यहाँनेर डिस्पेयर यहाँनेर रिजनेबल त्यसै गरिकन प्रिभेन्टिभ यहाँनेर आयो त्यसै गरिकन ब्रिस्कली भन्ने आयो त्यसै गरिकन यहाँनेर ग्यादर त्यसै गरिकन डिटरमाइन यी वर्डहरु हाइलाइट गरिएको छ अब कुन चाहिँ सही छ अब हेरौं यहाँनेर नम्बर 1 कम्प्लिट द फलोइङ सेन्टेन्सेस युजिङ द वर्ड्स हाइलाइटेड इन द टेक्स्ट टु अफ दोज वर्ड्स आर नट नेसेसरी दुईवटालाई हटाउनु पर्छ पाँचवटा मात्रै हामीले राख्नु पर्ने भयो यहाँनेर हामीले राखेका छौं जो रेडमा हाइलाइट गरेको छ यो चाहिँ आन्सर हो ही लुक्स लाइक अ बडी बिल्डर एज ही हैज अ स्ट्रङ मसल यू क्यान स्टिल गेट अ गुड हाउस फर अ भेरी रिजनेबल प्राइस It was really freezing, so we gathered some wood to build a fire. Number D. Although he lost his job, he didn't despair. Jogging regularly is the best preventive measure for a heart disease. Red मा चाहिँ भएको हाइलाइटेड चाहिँ आन्सर हो भनेर बुझ्नु होला. Now number B मा छौं हामी. Read the test again and write true if the statement agrees with the information given in the test. यदि सही लाग्यो भने ट्रू लेख्नु होला त्यसै गरिकन फल्स इफ द स्टेटमेन्ट कन्ट्राडिक्ट्स द इन्फर्मेसन गिवन इन द टेस्ट यदि टेस्टको अपोजिट छ भने पाठमा बताइएका कुराको अपोजिट छ भने त्यसलाई फल्स लेख्नु होला नट गिवन अर्थात् एनजी इफ देयर इज नो इन्फर्मेसन इन द टेस्ट त्यसको बारेमा टेस्टमा केही भनिएको छैन भने त्यसलाई एनजी लेख्नु होला या छोटकरीमा यहाँले टीएफ र एनजी पनि लेख्न सक्नुहुन्छ मैले ट्रू लाई टी फल्स लाई एफ र नट गिवन लाई एनजी बताएको छु नम्बर ए मा हेरौं According to the author, only strong physical exercise keeps people healthy. Yeah, false. Number B. The author thinks that walking is better than running in the initial stage. D. True. B. Regular exercise frequently releases our brain cells. NG. Not given. Number D. Physical exercise ensures the overall growth of a person. NG. Number E. The author advises people to make a note of the duration and distance of the daily walk. T. True. अनि सी नम्बरमा जाउँ हामी प्यासेजबाटै गिभ सर्ट आन्सर टु द फलोइङ क्वेसन्स इन वन सेन्टेन्स इज भनेको छ एक सेन्टेन्समा क्वेसन कहिलेकाहीँ लामो पनि हुन सक्छ लामो पनि भएको छ Why does the author mention exercise researchers in the first paragraph? Answer. The author mentions exercise researchers in the first paragraph to support his argument for the benefits of only walking for our health. Number B. Where does Jonah Monasque Manson work? Jonah works at a leading Harvard Women's Hospital as a chief of preventive medicine. Number C. Why does the author use the phrase a magic bullet in the third paragraph? Answer. The author uses the phrase a magic bullet in the third paragraph to remind us the importance of walking to keep us fit and healthy. He also wants to focus that walking is a kind of magic bullet to remain healthy. Number D. Do you agree or disagree with the author's point of view? Why or why not? Answer: Yes, I agree. I agree to the author's point because we have to be physically active to remain healthy. We have to keep our body working physically so that we can be mentally and physically healthy. For this, we have to walk at least 15 minutes daily. Number E. How is the author in this stage trying to convince the readers? The author in this stage trying to convince the readers from various advantages of walking, such as regular walking also lowers blood pressure, boosts the amount of HDL cholesterol, the good one in our blood. It even seems to make the blood less sticky and therefore less likely to produce unwanted clots. यसरी प्यासेज चाहिँ 15 नम्बरको 3 भागमा बाँडिएको। अब हामी नम्बर 2 मा जाँदैछौँ। नम्बर 2 मा सर्ट क्वेसनहरू जुन चाहिँ 5वटा क्वेसन हुनेछ र त्यसको वेटेज 2 नम्बर हुनेछ। 5 × 2 = 10 हुनेछ। अब हामी यसको क्वेसन जो रातोमा छ हाइलाइट गरिएको यो चाहिँ आन्सर हो भनेर यहाँले बुझ्नु होला। क्वेसन नम्बर ए, वाइ वाज the success of Rakesh a matter of discussion in the neighborhood? A devoted son. In the story A Devoted Son by Anita Desai, Rakesh's success was a matter of discussion in the neighborhood because he had achieved a great deal of success in his career as a doctor. Rakesh's career success was particularly impressive because he came from a modest background and his father Burma had sacrificed a lot to help Rakesh get an education. Rakesh's success was seen as a reflection of not only his own hard work and dedication but also of the sacrifices that his father and family had made to support him. As a result, Rakesh's success was a source of pride not only for his family but also for his community, who recognized and celebrated his achievements. Number B question. Describe the irritating things that the people do with the strange old man, a very old man with enormous wings. Well, let's continue. In A Very Old Man with Enormous Wings by Gabriel Garcia Marquez, the people in the town where the old man appears do several irritating things to him. They stare at him, poke him with sticks, throw stones at him, and even burn him with a branding iron. They treat him like a spectacle, a freak show, and do not show him any respect or empathy. The townspeople's actions highlight their fear of the unknown and their tendency to react with violence towards things they do not understand. Or describe marriage as a social institution from Marriage as a Social Institution. Answer: marriage is considered as institution because marriage is a social and legal structure that serves many social, economical, moral, lawful, political, psychological, and biological function for a community. Number C. Human beings are connected with hope. Do you agree or disagree with this statement? Give reasons. The Awakening Age. Answer: yes, I agree with this statement. As we know, it can be argued that human beings are connected with hope. Hope is a fundamental aspect of human nature as it drives us to pursue our goals and dreams. Even in the face of adversity, it gives us a sense of purpose and meaning in life and helps us to stay optimistic about the future. Without hope, it would be difficult for humans to endure the challenges and uncertainties of life. Therefore, it can be said that hope is an essential part of human experience. Number D. Do you agree with the author's view that history has been a major debatable issue in the present world? Give your opinion. Humility. The author has dealt with a controversial debate on human history. I think history has been a major debatable issue in the present world due to egoism. Most individuals believe they are the center of the universe and that their culture is superior to all others. They believe their history is the oldest and that everything is descended or originated from their culture. Because of egoism, history has become a major source of contention in the modern world. The author wishes to remove humanity's sense of superiority and domination. Our question: how can wisdom be taught? Give your example. Knowledge and wisdom. Wisdom is not something that can be taught in a traditional sense because it is a complex and multifaceted concept that requires experience and reflection to develop. However, there are certain ways in which wisdom can be encouraged and nurtured. One way to cultivate wisdom is through mentorship or guidance from a wise and experienced individual. This mentorship can allow for the transfer of knowledge and insight from one generation to the next, enabling individuals to learn from the mistakes and successes of those who came before them. Another way to develop wisdom is through practical experiences, where individuals are given the opportunity to learn from their own mistakes and failures. By reflecting on their experiences, individuals can gain insight and understanding and use this knowledge to make better decisions in the future. Finally, literature and philosophy can be a valuable tool in developing wisdom. By exploring different perspectives and ideas, individuals can gain a deeper understanding of the world and their place in it, and develop the capacity for critical thinking and self reflection. Overall, while wisdom cannot be taught in a traditional sense, it can be nurtured and developed through mentorship, practical experience, and exposure to different. Number E. How does famous actress try to convince honest young woman a matter of husband? Answer: famous actress tries to convince honest young by saying that a misunderstanding may have arrived between her husband and her. She makes honest young woman believe that her husband has been playing with her to make her jealous and gain her love back. Now we have number third questions. Write long answer to the following questions in about 150 words each. 2 into 5, 10. Number first, A. Explain the following lines with reference to context. I was my own route, and I was all in me, as was life in me. I wanted to be like men wanted me to be, an attempt at life, a game of hide and seek with my wing, but I was made of nows when the heralds announced me at the regal parade of the old guard. The desire to follow men wrapped in me, and the homage was left waiting for me. Answer: these lines have been extracted from the poem I Was My Own Route, composed by Julia Burgos. She is looking for fresh ways to handle her journey, choosing her own path. This poem makes agenda of gender discrimination as responsible to the social inequality that existed at the time, as uttered by Julia de Burgos. Through the lines I was my own route, and I was all in me, as was life in me, suggest that the speaker is self-reliant and self-sufficient, and that they feel a strong sense of identity and purpose with themselves. The next line, I wanted to be like men wanted me to be, an attempt at life, implies that there is pursuit from external sources, perhaps society or culture, to conform to certain expectations or standards. The phrase an attempt at life suggests that this pressure to conform is seen by the speaker as a kind of performance or game. The line "but I was made up now" suggests that the speaker is focused on the present moment rather than being preoccupied with conforming to expectations or following a prescribed path. The next line describe the speaker being announced at a parade, perhaps as some kind of public figure or leader. The phrase "the desire to follow men wrapped in me" suggests that the speaker feels pressure to conform to social expectations of leadership or authority, even though this goes against their sense of self-reliance and individuality. The phrase "homage was left waiting for me" implies that others expected expected the speaker to fulfill certain expectations or duties, but the speaker did not feel compelled to do so. And or क्वेसनमा यसैको सट्टा रहेको छ अर्को क्वेसन, sketch the character of Monsieur Durand facing death भन्ने प्लेबाट लिएको. Monsieur Durand is a character in the play Facing Death by August Strindberg. He is a middle-aged man who is the owner of a small printing press in Paris. Durand is a proud and stubborn man who values his independence and resents any interference in his affairs. He is dedicated to his work and takes great pride in the quality of his printing. Durand is also a bit of loner and is somewhat isolated from the rest of society. He has few friends and is suspicious of outdoors. However, he has a soft spot for his daughters, Louise, and is fiercely protective of her. As the play progresses, Durand's health begins to deteriorate and he becomes obsessed with the idea of cheating death. He spends his time reading books and consulting with doctors in an attempt to find a cure for his illness. However, his stubbornness and refusal to accept his own morality ultimately lead to his downfall. Overall, Monsieur Durand is a complex character who embodies the struggle between the human desire for self-preservation and the inevitability of death. Now, number B, question is, how does the play make a satire on feudal system of Nepali society of late 18th century? The Bull भन्ने प्लेबाटको question. The drama depicts the dehumanization and oppression of feudal rulers on their workers. Common people live in terror because the lord's animal is treated better than they. The feudal system has suppressed, dominated, and dehumanized them. We have seen the cowherds who survive on the Lord's kindness and grace. This drama depicted the feudal society and its abuse of common people. The rulers and lords in the bull represented a cruel society. People's circumstances weren't really good. Politics was little understood by the citizenry. People were punished for not performing swasti for the kings, and the lords bow down to them. They would be punished if they revolted against their rulers. Their rulers abused them. People had no fundamental rights. Females were obliged to live under the dominance of men. Male used to have many wives. The monarchs or lords had total influence over the commoners' lives. And now we are in number 4. Summarize the following text in approximately 150 words. Write only the ideas of the original text but do not include your own opinions, interpretations, deductions, or comments. अब यसलाई चाहिँ समराइज गर्न भनेको छ. समराइज गर्न भनेको छ लामो यहाँनिर प्याराग्राफहरू छ. अब यहाँहरु पढ्नुहुन्छ. Madhav Prasad Ghimire is a renowned Nepali poet who has given a great contribution to Nepali literature. He is one of the last of the oldest generation of poets in Nepal. He was motivated by the works of Rabindranath Tagore. He is a poet of romantic tradition. He has written many incredible books such as Gauri, Malati Mangale, Himal Pari, Himal Wari, Aswasthama, Rajeshwari, and Sakuntala, and he is known for his inspiring works. He was Honored as Rashtra Kavi, poet of the nation of Nepal, he is undoubtedly one of uh, the rare poets in Nepal to gain fame and fortune, and not the unfortunate forgetfulness they normally receive. But the greatest asset of his life is its simplicity. He is a very simple person with a simple taste, but his verses are varied and complex. However, for some, he is a Himalayan poet, and for some, the poet of love and harmony. However, this truth cannot be denied. He is a lyric poet and one of the true servants of Nepali literature. He is also a national treasure associated with the golden age of Nepali literature. He is one of the last of the oldest generation of poets whose contemporaries Balkrishna Sharma and Lakshmi Prasad Devkota have become historical figures in the annals of the Nepali literature. It is known that in his masterpieces such as Gauri and Malati Mangale, he portrayed the terrible truths of society. This literature was most praised by the Nepali people. Some of his other important literary works include Himal Pari, Himal Wari, Rajeshwari, Aswathama, and Sakuntala, which are most appreciated. He is a simple man with complex and different perception. Rashtrakavi Gimre was cited as a source of inspiration in the Nepali literary brotherhood, not only writing but also his will to live has inspired many Nepali people. According to him, there are three mantras to live longer: easy exercise or yoga, positive thinking, and creativity. For him, education in his own life is very important since it takes a person from darkness to light, and it is very important that Nepali youth should learn these things from him. He is respected by the people of Nepal. I think poets should be able to go beyond the social hierarchy and bring visions to humanity, and by using their poetic abilities, they should be able to expand the mind and pursue the truth. This is a great sentence by Madhav Prasad Ghimire. Now, summary यहाँनिर यो रातोमा चाहिँ समराइज गरेको छ. Madhav Prasad Ghimire, honored as Rashtra Kavi, is a renowned Nepali poet who has given a great contribution to Nepali literature. He has written many incredible books such as Gauri, Malati Mangale, Himal Pari, Himal Wari, Aswathama, Raj Rajeshwari, and Shakuntala, and he is well known for his inspired works. However, this truth cannot be denied. He is a lyric poet and one of the true servants of Nepali literature. He is one of the last of the oldest generation of poets whose contemporaries Balkrishna Sharma and Lakshmi Prasad Devkota have become historical figures in the annals of Nepali literature. This literature was most praised by the Nepali people. His literature was most praised by the Nepali people, not only writing but also his will to live has inspired many Nepali people. Okay, number 5. Number 5 question रहेको छ. Write a letter to your cousin reminding him or a book novel that you thought worth reading in about 180 words. Describe the facts that you liked most. Recommending him or her. आफ्नो cousinलाई सिफारिस गर्दै कुनै किताब तपाईँलाई पढ्न चाहेको, तपाईँले पढेको किताब जो चाहिँ पढ्न योग्य छ भनिकन सिफारिस गर्दै पत्र लेख्नुहोस् भनेको छ. त्यसका मुख्य तथ्यहरू के हुन् भनेर मैले यहाँ लेखेको छु. Chhatreshwari Sikh Salyan, 23rd April 2023. Dear Raj, I hope this letter finds you well. I wanted to recommend a book that I recently read and thoroughly enjoyed, The Nightingale by Christine Hanna. This historical fiction novel is set in France during World War II and follows the lives of two sisters, Vianney and Isabel, as they navigate the challenges of the war and their own personal struggles. What I loved most about this book was the way in which the author portrayed the strength and resilience of women during wartime. The characters were so well developed and relatable, and I found myself emotionally invested in their stories. I also appreciated how the author did not shy away from depicting the horrors of war, but also showed the beauty and hope that can be found amidst the darkness. The writing style was engaging and kept me captivated from beginning to end. I found myself thinking about the characters and their experiences as long after I had finished reading the book. Overall, I highly recommend The Nightingale to anyone who enjoys historical fiction or stories about the power of female relationships. It is a moving and thought provoking novel that I believe you will enjoy. Best regards, Nitesh. Number 6, long essay. Privati- Privatization is education in education creates two-class regions. To what extent do you agree with this opinion? Write an essay in about 300 words on why you think so, shedding light on pros and cons of privatization, privatizing education issues and government responsibility. An essay is here. Privatization in education is a contentious issue that has been debated for decades. Some argue that privatization leads to the creation of two-class citizens, while others believe that it can be a solution to the problems facing public education. In my opinion, privatization can indeed create two-class citizens, and I will discuss the reasons why. Firstly, privatization of education means that those who can afford to pay for private education will receive a better quality of education than those who attend public schools. This creates a two-tier system with the wealthy receiving a better education and thus having greater opportunities in life, while the poor are left behind. This can lead to social inequality and a lack of social mobility, as those from less privileged backgrounds are unable to access the same educational opportunities as their wealthier counterparts. Secondly, privatization of education can lead to the commodification of education. When education is treated as a commodity to be sold to the highest bidder, it can lead to a focus on profit over quality. This can lead to a lowering of academic standards as a school prioritize making a profit over providing a good education. This can be particularly damaging to those from less privileged backgrounds who may not have access to the same educational opportunities as the wealthy. However, there are also some potential benefits of privatization. Private schools may be able to offer a more specialized curriculum and can often provide a greater level of individual attention to the students. Additionally, private schools are often able to attract high quality teachers and provide better resources than public schools. Despite these potential benefits, the government has a responsibility to ensure that all citizens have access to a quality education. This means that the government must provide adequate funding for public schools and ensure that they are staffed by qualified teachers. Additionally, the government must monitor private schools to ensure that they are providing a quality education and that they are not discriminating against the students based on their socio-economic status. In conclusion, while there may be some benefits to privatization in education, I believe that it can indeed create two-class citizens. The government must take responsibility for ensuring that all citizens have access to a quality education regardless of their socioeconomic status. This means providing adequate funding for public schools and monitoring private schools to ensure that they are providing a quality education. Ultimately, education should be a fundamental right for all citizens, and privatization should not be allowed to create a two-tier system that perpetuates inequality. And number 7, do as indicated in the brackets and rewrite the sentences. Rewrite भनेपछि यहाँहरूले लेख्न चाहिँ नछुटाउनु होला. यहाँनिर मैले आन्सरलाई के गरेको छु त यहाँ बनाइसकेको छु. नम्बर ए, आई हेभ टु गो टु डेन्टिस्ट बिकज माई टुथ इज एक्टिङ टेरिबल मात्रै थियो. यसको आन्सर टेरिबली बनाउनु पर्यो यहाँहरूले. TERRIBLE थियो, यहाँ BLY बनाउनु पर्यो. टेरिबली मैले बनाएको छु. नम्बर बीमा, हिज हाउस इज, अब यहाँनिर कुन चाहिँ ठिक हुन्छ यहाँनिर अन हुने भयो अन द वे फ्रम इटहरी टु विराटनगर नम्बर सीमा राम एस्योर्ड मी द्याट ही वुड मेट मी एट द बस स्टेसन एक्ज्याक्टली एट एएम इट्स नाउ 10 AM आई हेभ बिन वेटिङ बिन थप्नु पर्यो यहाँनिर नम्बर डी यु डट मस्ट यहाँनिर मस्ट स्टप स्मोकिङ अनि ईमा ही युजुअल्ली डज नम्बर एफमा इज अ पार्ट अफ प्रोजेक्ट वर्क यहाँनिर स्टप देयर स्टडी अनि जीमा गणेश इज अ डक्टर हिज वाइफ इज अ डक्टर यहाँनिर के गर्नु पर्यो त बोथले जोड्ने भनेको छ बोथ गणेश एन्ड हिज वाइफ आर डक्टर्स यसरी बनायो हामीले नम्बर यसमा द म्यान इज इन द गार्डन द म्यान इज वेयरिङ अ ब्लू जम्पर अब यसलाई के गर्ने हो त हामीले के अरे अप्रोप्रिएट रिलेटिभ प्रोनाउनले जोड्ने भनेको छ द म्यान वेयरिङ अ ब्लू जम्पर इज इन द गार्डन नम्बर आई माई अङ्कल रोट अ वन्डरफुल प्ले यसलाई प्यासिभमा चेन्ज गर्ने भनेको छ अ वन्डरफुल प्ले वाज रिटन बाई माई अङ्कल अनि यहाँनिर इन्डाइरेक्ट बनाउने छ मोहन सेड माई ब्रदर अराइभड होम लेट सरी मोहन Mohan said that my brother had arrived home late. अनि नम्बर 8 मा चुज एन्ड कपी द करेक्ट अल्टरनेटिभ्स भनेको छ यहाँनिर अब मैले नम्बर ए मा व्हिच वान अफ द फलोइङ वर्ड्स हैज द डिफरेंट फाइनल साउन्ड भनेको छ यहाँनिर लुक्ड नम्बर बी you went for a long run in this morning the word run in this sentence is a noun which of the following word does not take the prefix im fertile number D which one of the following words comes between example and exchange in the dictionary entry that excavate number E ma the administration has officially asked the transportation employees to call off their demonstration यसरी हामीले के गर्यौं त यो मोडल क्वेशनको सोलुसन र क्वेशनहरु हामीले सँगसँगै हेर्यौं आशा छ यहाँहरुलाई पक्कै पनि यो भिडियो मन पर्यो होला अहिलेसम्म भिडियो हेरिदिनु भएकोमा यहाँहरुलाई धन्यवाद